You know this awards we're going to next week?
Yeah.
Here's a picture somebody put on it. Can people see that? Probably can't zoom in on that. It is a Mars layered brownie.
Well, so I don't get that.
I would smash that brownie.
A brownie's a brownie, though.
Is it?
What it is? I hate when they add these what put a Mars in there. You're not really going to taste that over the richness of a brownie. You are just a sugar monster, aren't you?
Love it. Do you know what? When we go back to Ireland most years, and a friend of mine over there, his wife's mother, when they were getting married years ago, this is a tangent, she makes these Rocky Road cakes.
Oh, that Rocky Road I don't get either.
And it is, I think it is technically, she goes into the local shop and just throws it in, smashes it all up, and there is Rolos in there. There is pieces of digestive biscuit.
I remember
there is
Rolos
pieces of
pulling
York
my
cake.
tough out once.
Oh, this is superb. When they were getting married, his mother-in-law made this. I had about 9 sections of it. So now she associates me with that. So every time we go over to them and they are going away with us to a hotel for a night or two, or we're going to stay somewhere, this mother-in-law makes this Rocky Road and goes, "Bring that now. I know Shane likes that." It's just feeding a habit.
Do you remember the brownies? What are the brownies we buy?
Gower
Cottage brownies, right? Do you remember when
Kate's are terrible.
And I ate the top layer one when they arrived, didn't I? And then realised I'd probably done about 2,000 calories in literally the space of about half an hour. I felt pretty sick as well.
The sickness
so good.
The sickness doesn't kick in until you finish the last one. Because you
just
keep going and going and going.
Exactly. Yeah. What's favourite dessert then?
Favourite dessert? See, I do like brownies with some mint.
Yeah, but I'm talking
chocolate.
Dessert. Like, I'm not talking just a cake. I'm talking dessert. Something you'd have after a meal with maybe custard or ice cream on.
Probably a nice rhubarb tart with custard, but not cinnamon. Don't know why people put cinnamon into apple tarts and stuff like that. There's no need for cinnamon.
See, I like a sponge. I like a jam sponge type of cake. Do you know what I mean? Like a really like.
What about the one where you dip the top? What's it called? You dip the toffee in the top of it.
Sticky toffee.
Sticky toffee. Yeah. That's a very British thing. We don't have that in Ireland. I can take it or leave it.
I like sticky chocolate. I do like a steamed pudding though, like a spotted dick or if you can say that, can you? That's what it's called. We'll link to a picture of that now to see if I like me if you don't know what I'm about.
Christmas pudding?
Hate it.
Oh,
don't really like fruit puddings. Don't get it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but alcohol as well. Don't like desserts with alcohol.
Oh yeah, but
like at Christmas, right? When we used to go to families years ago, quite a big kind of family, and they used to do a trifle, and they'd have to do a non-sherry trifle for me because I cannot eat it. And I also don't like, that crappy tinned fruit, which you actually can't even make out what is in it. Where they put in the bottom of a trifle?
Yeah.
Terrible. It's got to be raspberries or strawberries in the trifle.
Oh,
but it can't be any alcohol in it.
Christmas,
I can't do
Christmas
desserts with
pudding,
alcohol.
loads of Guinness in it, loads of whiskey. It's made in January.
It's awful.
You leave it and you let it set for 12 months.
Tiramisu would be so much better than put alcohol in it.
And then you take it out and you boil it for whatever, about 27 hours, and then you put a ladle with brandy over and you burn, and then you get brandy sauce. Brandy cream.
I can't do brandy sauce either. Give me normal custard any day.
Do you know what?
Creme anglaise.
Do you know? I'm getting excited for Christmas already. I did put a message out today.
Silly season's coming then.
Silly season coming.
You love silly season.
I do love silly season. I did put an idea out on social media today on LinkedIn and saying last weekend I did want to put up our outdoor Christmas decorations, and I was told it was too early to go. So I put it out there to people saying, is it too early to do it now, or do I have to wait? Because it does.
Not until after my birthday. My birthday is 28th of November. You cannot put Christmas decorations on my birthday, albeit. So we, if anyone knows, and I'll show you a picture of it, because our house at Christmas is usually like clock grizzles from the National Lampoon's Christmas. Our house with lights, but this year we're probably going to disappoint the neighbours. Probably not disappoint them with the amount of lights we have in the house. But we're not having it done this year because the guy who does it doesn't do it anymore. So I still got lights up on the house, but I can guarantee about 30 of the bulbs will be out and it's going to look bizarre.
It makes people happy though. You know when you drive, you go into a town, you see Christmas decorations of
Christmas
pubs,
lights.
restaurants, shopping centres. Then you're driving past places. You see, little villages have lights up. You go past people's houses, and they make an effort, and they blow up Grinches.
You want to see some of the
snowmen.
efforts of Caerphilly, like literally, like some of them have been up since October. I do wonder whether anyone takes them down.
It is silly
Some
season.
parts
It's the beginning of it. I suppose it ties in relevant. And which, if anyone is listening to, the far flung places that they listen to for this podcast on YouTube in Mauritius or Dubai or Australia or Vietnam, New Zealand, a few people in Ireland,
Papua New Guinea.
I
don't know who's listening to it in Papua
the
New
start
Guinea,
of Christmas, from what I can see over the last 20 years in Wales, is Beaujolais Day. And outside of the little bubble that is called Wales, nobody has a bloody clue what Beaujolais Day is. Do you want to explain to them what it is?
Well, the real definition of... Actually, I'll give you the real definition of Beaujolais Day now. Hang on, stand by. So, Beaujolais Day is a very famous day. Well, Swansea kind of
originated.
But they used to do it in Bristol.
Hence why we're dressed up a bit more
we're
normal.
We're entertaining today. So, Beaujolais Day. So, Beaujolais Nouveau Day is a French holiday that takes place on the third Thursday of November every year. So this year is the 17th of November. So it celebrates... I'll tell you exactly what it celebrates now. Owing to its proximity to Thanksgiving, many of the Americans choose the crimson red wine with a refreshing, awful adverts come up on the screen. The wine is fermented, refreshing, fruity taste in the company of the holiday meal. The wine is fermented for a few weeks using... That can't be the right one for drinking Beaujolais Day.
Anyways, how many people
History of Beaujolais
will
Day.
be drinking that
Through the
red
harvest
wine
of
today?
Beaujolais Nouveau, have been celebrated for centuries. But I don't know anywhere else that celebrates it like with us in Wales. And
it's massive.
Not to kind of dress it up too much, but it's just an extremely social day in Cardiff. You will not get into a restaurant in Cardiff on Beaujolais Day or Swansea. I've never been to Swansea, but Cardiff I've been doing it for probably the best part of a decade or more
Or 2
now.
decades.
Pushing into
And come 6 or 7 o'clock this evening, people will be, what's the technical term, well oiled, and one of the more popular areas in Cardiff, Mill Lane and that, will be absolutely heaving, it's an international day in rugby.
Yeah.
And
it will literally be. It
it's
will
just
literally be
strange.
crazy.
But for me, it's today. Beaujolais Day is the start of silly season for Christmas. This is the very start of today, because people.
Yeah, it is the start.
People booking in, and ladies getting haircuts today, nails getting done. It's a massive thing.
I think the ladies would have prepared themselves yesterday. It'd be a bit late today because most people start at 12 o'clock. It's an all-dayer, if anyone knows what an all-dayer is. But it's a bit of an all-day kind of session. Not that we're promoting drinking to excess at all. But today will be for a lot of people.
It will be for a lot of people.
Not for everyone, though.
It ties in well with chatting today, because we haven't had the autumn budget yet. That could be a bit of
That's today, isn't it?
That's today. So we've done it probably about an hour before we've recorded. This about an hour before it comes out. So there could be all sorts of poo hitting fans and that today. But it's from what people are saying, there's going to be a lot more turbulence ahead, and it's going to be painful for people. And it's going to affect a lot of people. And they're trying, from what I read, to say those higher earners are going to be more affected, which I totally agree with. In a nice way. If you pay tax, it means you're successful, and so you should pay tax. So that's just the way I look at it. But for many, going on about silly season, I'm fearful for a lot of people, because I think a lot of the stuff that people do now, taking into account the last 2 or 3 years of going, we deserve a good Christmas. The kids deserve a good Christmas. We're going to make sure we have our family together. People are going to spend like there's no tomorrow on Beaujolais Day, Christmas parties, Christmas food, all of that. And I think a bit like the government.
We've actually do start spending on Christmas food this year.
intentionally, or have you budgeted and go, that's how much we're going to spend, or you just intentionally?
No, intentionally, really. I think we've been quite mindful that, like, we've always bought our kind of Christmas stuff from M&S, because they do that Christmas kind of order ahead and stuff like that. But the quality of the meat's not that brilliant, and we use a local butcher for our meat now, who delivers it to us, and I'm inclined to say it's near on a quarter of the price what M&S are charging.
Yeah.
Like the ham M&S do is pretty small, very expensive, when I can get a bigger piece of ham for less money, which actually tastes exactly the same. It's not better, actually, I would probably say.
And aside, what do you put on the gammon? How do you do it?
Oh, I don't know. Kath does that only. I don't do that. I don't do the ham.
Boil it.
I do the. So I generally cook Christmas Day.
Boil the gammon. Next
boil
day,
it. There'll probably be
cloves.
Yeah, cloves,
Honey.
maple syrup,
honey, maple syrup.
some spices.
What's the brown the brown
sugar.
brown sugar called Demerara. Yeah, and then cook it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah, roast it. Yeah.
2 days later.
Yeah.
But with bird flu this year, they have said that the price of turkeys are going to be astronomical. I booked my stuff in.
Bird flu, is that what's happening in China at the moment, isn't it?
No, it's over here. Did you see all the shops the last few days have run out of eggs?
Well, as you well know, I don't watch the news. Shock horror. But it's so negative, I don't watch
They've
it.
run out of eggs.
So I actually miss out on all these things. People say this to me, you see that in the news? I'm like, no, didn't see it. No.
Do you know the other thing this year, not this year, it's every year that I have the issue with, and maybe it's because I'm almost a Christmas Grinch, and it's I'm not being sexist, but because it's my wife that does it, and probably a lot more ladies, they go and buy little gifts for each other. You know, the 10 or 12 pound boots.
Yeah, but those 10 or 12 pounds are going to be more like 15, 20 now with the price, are they?
If you've got 10 friends, at £15 a go, it's 150 quid. And all you're doing is gifting. You know, I think that there needs to be
all right, Scrooge,
an understanding this year that maybe Christmas won't be tough because we're going to be in a giddy season.
Yeah,
but
right.
January is going to be difficult. And
January onwards, 2023 is going to be a difficult year. Let's not make any bones about it, and it's not as being negative.
Yeah.
2023 onwards is going to be a tough old run, and only the strong will survive.
And you've seen, or I've seen, a lot of the posters coming at the moment is lots of credit card lenders offering me credit facilities at the moment, which is very easy. Fill out a form, go online, apply, get a credit card, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 grand. It's very easy to get debt at the moment to cover a Christmas period. But when does that kick in?
February.
January, February. And it's going to be horrible. I think people need to have an understanding that there needs to be a few changes or tweaks in what they've done over the past, and simple things. I think, like budgeting for Christmas and understanding and setting aside an amount of money to spend on Christmas presents, or setting aside an amount to spend on Christmas food that day, and not buying 15 boxes.
How much do you waste like Christmas time? Do you know what I mean? You end up eating to excess. And that's something we've been a bit conscious of this year, is that we have so much food normally over Christmas, and you end up passing it around the families, whoever turns up. We all take a bit of foil with some food in. I mean, take some foil and food in. Take some food in some foil, whichever it might be. You end up food just gets passed around over Christmas. And kind of by about the 27th, I'm fed up with Christmassy food anyway, and take back some sort of normality.
And then you have turkey curries and all that. You buy.
I like turkey curry though, slow cooked.
Chicken curry, but that's another thing. Worst day of the year. Worst day of the year. Blue Monday.
When's that?
The third Monday in January.
Why is that? Because everyone end of Christmas they do go back to work. Does a credit card statement arrive on the 3rd?
I thought it was
February. No, I thought it was later in the month. Yeah.
I know there is a formula for it. I know Chris will probably put it up there. But it says the theory goes that it's the time of year when we're all cold, broke, and riddled with guilt that our New Year's resolution to get fit, drink less alcohol, and be a better human being has fallen by the wayside. And it's the arrival of the credit card statement. The weather is at its worst, and the extra few pounds gained over Christmas seem hard to shift. Blue Monday. So we have all that to look forward to.
Well, that's positive.
We have
positive
many weeks of indulgence.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Everyone thinks, I can't believe I put on a few pounds over Christmas. Because we've sat down watching James Bond, digging into the 15th box of Quality Street, as we open up a can or a bottle of red and chomp
I
at
don't
something
drink over Christmas.
and constantly feel hungry.
I don't drink over Christmas at all.
You know, we joked
Not that I
about
drink much anyway.
No.
It's not
might change on Beaujolais Day, but
possible.
that's
But yeah, coming back to James Bond. Do you watch James Bond at Christmas?
love James Bond.
But he's on all the time now. It's not
Doesn't
just
matter.
Christmas. isn't
Doesn't
it?
matter.
I'll be watching The Santa Claus with Tim the Toolman Taylor. What's his name? Tim Allen.
Tim Allen.
That was the program. Tim the Toolman Taylor. He was. I will probably be watching that about 800 times.
The young lady
is
will like
obsessed
that.
by it. She literally is. They've got a TV version of that now, but that's going by the wayside. There's a 6-part series of The Santa Claus starting tomorrow. Actually.
It comes back to a lot of this stuff, though, that we've said it numerous times. People and their education with money, their understanding of money, their relationship, their habits and behaviours with money
Yes.
has been incorrect and is continuing to be incorrect. And if you don't know what you're doing wrong, you're never going to change it. And there needs to be an education of developing good habits, good relationships, and good ideas with money to ensure that people try and get out of this cyclical debt. Because it's going to continue, because trying to pay off the debt in January will impact potentially on Easter, summer holidays, going back to school next September, which even though it is miles away, people almost need to start budgeting for that now. It doesn't.
But the thing with that debt and all that, it doesn't help mental health.
No.
It really doesn't, because they do say some of the biggest causes of stress and money worries.
Yeah. It is a horrible thing, and it is cyclical, and the more debt you get in, the more you're paying back and the less you have to spend, and it just mounts up and mounts up and mounts up.
And so there's a reason why we're talking about this, though, isn't there?
It's coming into silly season and people are going to be spending a shed load of money.
Yeah.
And they're going to be very happy for the next 6 weeks. But come that cold winter's nights in January and then hit Blue Monday, things are going to go a bit pear-shaped and people are going to start to panic. They're going to start potentially doing the wrong things for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And that will have a cyclical effect on the rest of 2023.
So what are we going to do about it?
I think from probably the second week in January, we are going to run a very quick, they call it a quick sprint money management 4-week course, which will give people some tips, tricks, create new habits, create new behaviours on how to deal with their money, their debts, their relationship with money, and ultimately their own happiness.
Yeah. 4 weeks, hour-and-a-half sessions, once a week for 4 weeks. We'll teach you everything that we've learned and we know and educate people on about money management and how to kind of weather the storm post Christmas and then into potentially a recession, which we're coming into. So there's going to be a link in the notes below, okay, for this. And you can register your interest now, and then we will release the dates. It'll all be done via Zoom. You'll be able to, if you register, you'll still be able to see it recorded as well. So you'll be able to catch up on it, but we will be running it live with Q&A at the end. So you can ask questions to us and we'll answer those questions to the best of our ability. And how much is that going to cost people?
Maybe their time. We will do this on a free basis because people need to be educated.
I know people say that you don't get anything for free in life, but this is completely free.
There is a need for people to be educated and understand this, so we're going to run this for free. All that is going to be a commitment needed is your time. Yeah. So we'll run that in January. So I said, register your interest. When we get the dates finalised, we will send a link for you to register to sign up and take it from there.
Lovely. Merry Christmas.
It's been early still November.